All right.
Okay. All right. You had your child lock on.
Yeah, that thing is automatic.
Yes, ours is
I
too.
want to do this before I forget.
What's that?
Oh, yes, you better.
I'm a beekeeper.
Butch is a beekeeper.
You told me that.
That's this year's sourwood.
And
And it's
it
as
is,
good as it is.
that's the best
Man,
we have
thank
ever
you.
had. And I hope you can eat honey, but it's at least it's
We have-
unprocessed, healthy honey.
we
It's
have-
not from the store.
We have no sugar in our house. I use honey.
We use honey. That's what we use.
I buy it, I forget the name of it.
But you can only get sourwood honey in the North Georgia mountains or
Really?
that part of North Carolina around Asheville.
Wow.
That's the only place you can get it. And that Butch just bottled this up before we came, and oh man, is it the best honey the girls have ever produced.
I've,
Oh, we don't have sugar in our house either.
yeah, I don't,
And we hope
I mean, we
you
got
can
sugar
eat honey.
for sugar freaks.
Yes,
you know,
yes,
but,
we do too. And for the hummingbirds when I make nectar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. I hope we didn't have to meet this man at a certain time.
Oh, no, no.
Okay.
I called him
Okay.
Monday and I asked him if we need to go to the office. He said, no, I'll make sure the gate's open. Y'all just go on down.
Oh, good, 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 good.
And,
I'm just so excited.
I'm telling you, this is... I was just like you. I was about to pee all over myself. I mean, back in the early 90s. And... Damn it.
What's the matter?
I have an 1825 map.
Oh,
Um,
is it at home?
I took it out and laid it there to bring with me.
I've done that before. So it runs in
But-
the family, even if we are backdoor cousins.
You can buy one. It's called the Mills Atlas, 1825 edition,
Okay.
and I got this one in Beaufort.
Oh,
Yeah, and I think I paid like, of course, this was in 1989.
I need to write this down when I get to my
Yeah,
pocketbook. Yeah.
right.
Mills Atlas, 1825.
Robert Mills was
I think I've seen that name before in
he's
genealogy.
a cardiographer or whatever.
Yes, yes, a cartographer. Yes.
Yeah.
A map maker.
Map maker and a surveyor and
Oh, a lot.
an all-around brilliant genius. I'm gonna tell you, I will stop before we get there, and I'm going to show Butch something. And y'all will be back probing and digging again.
Oh, yes. We are eat up with it big time.
Well, that's what I told Esther. I said, you know, a lot of people just all they want to know is who the mom and daddy was. Sometimes they want to know the grandma. She said that's all she wanted to know.
Yeah, but she doesn't like it, does she? Well, one day we'll meet Esther.
She's an excellent, wonderful researcher.
Uh-huh.
I mean, she absolutely smart, very smart. She got a master's degree, and she's a great researcher.
Mm-hmm.
You tell her what she's researching, and man, she'll go for it.
Yep.
She goes to everything. I get tunnel vision. I get stuck on one document
Oh, yeah.
and spend the whole day.
Okay. I find a document, peruse it, and
Yeah.
go back and read it later. But
Not
see,
me.
that's
I read
like
the
the
whole
night I wrote you, I said, I'm on overload here. When you first sent the cloud, I went, oh my Lord, I'll never get through all this. But then I pick and choose, but I got stuck on that all. And and then I finally found the Manning, and I opened something you said go back and open. And I opened that,
Right.
and I go, Butch, my Lord. But I've got to verify a few things with you, but I didn't make notes for that about some of this Anne Marie. You know how you think there's a hole in George Hogg because there are too many years, 103 years. You think there's another one.
Yeah.
I do too, but when I was reading that Huguenot thing,
Yeah.
I think there's too many years between Anna Maria, or what, Cleope Borka. I think there's too many years there because David VR, oh, I got to tell you what I found in the library. But David VR, you said she left Switzerland. What I understand from reading is that she left Switzerland because her husband died.
Well,
in
no,
Switzerland.
I think
That's what it read.
He died over there.
In Switzerland.
Yeah, somewhere, either France or Switzerland.
And so the children, David had to be born in Switzerland.
Oh, really?
Well, she couldn't
Well,
have
yeah, he had to be.
because if he was dead over there, she couldn't have had any children over here.
Not by VR, no way.
No, not by VR. And so, and it states, have you ever found David VR's will?
Never.
Because this is what this is why I think there's somebody in between. Because
He died
John was
before
born in
1800.
1769.
Right.
And if David was born in 1727, there's a whole generation between them.
There's got to be.
There's got to be another
I noticed
generation.
that too. I'm just not positive.
Oh, I thought you would know all this VR stuff.
No, you know, they're French Huguenots, and I don't know.
But I'm with you. I said, well, if Henry thinks this, maybe he's found the link in the middle. I do know on your JedCom, you had down the same person for his wife that I do, Mary Helen Long. But I think that's not right, is it? Because when I researched a tree, which is speculation, but somebody's tree on Ancestry,
Right.
it took them into Gainesville, Georgia. That's where a whole bunch of
Right.
VRs are in Gainesville. And guess what? That's an hour away. I guess I could call those people and ask them. I don't know, because I don't know if that's the right people, or maybe they just went to Georgia.
I'm going to send you a whole bunch of Augusta Chronicle newspaper clippings that I downloaded from the Augusta Chronicle. And you'd be surprised at the Hoggs in Georgia.
Yes.
You remember I told you about I was communicating with a lady named Louise Boss. She lived in Studio City, California. She was a stewardess or
I think I vaguely remember that.
whatever you call them nowadays, flight attendant.
Flight attendant, yeah.
We're getting close down here.
Yeah, I have no clue, so I can't help you, Henry.
Yeah, well, you remember the book? I think it was up there. I'm not sure if it is, and I'll give it to you. The minutes of the Utah Baptist Church.
I don't have it, and I was going to ask, do we need to go there?
Well, I'm going to show you the site of the original Utah Baptist Church. It's a black church now.
Not to change the subject,
Go ahead.
but do you have the minutes
Yeah.
from the parish church of St. Helena when A. George was on the vestry on Easter Monday, 1737?
Yeah.
Okay, I found that the other day. I have emailed the archivist from this parish church in St. Helena, and he sent me copies of the original of the baptism of Solomon, who was born in 1794, and the son of Solomon and Jane, and she was baptized the same day as her son into the church.
Okay,
But he said there are no more. But I am convinced that the Hoggs and that Solomon and George were together. I think they traveled together.
I guarantee
They had to
they
have.
probably do.
They had to have.
I'll send you the whole minutes of the vestry and minutes St. Helena Parish Registry. I got the whole thing.
You got the whole thing?
Yeah, both of them.
You're holding out on me. Do I need my camera? I always need my camera. Middle of the sentence.
Where'd you go? Oh, he's right over there.
But anyway, so you do not know who David's, so you can't find a will. And I figure the will's in Charleston, Viard.
It's a good possibility.
It is not in Barnwell. I looked.
I
looked Monday.
I think David VR is, from St. Peter's Parish.
Oh, you do?
I'm almost positive. How? I just don't know what happened between him and John Hogg. I think he left his wife, or John Hogg's first wife. I think David VR left her a bunch of land up there around Barnwell.
That's what I think that's when they went to Barnwell.
And John stole it.
And you know how we've got John Hogg from Barnwell and all those, I mean, everybody says he's from Barnwell, but in all the research I've been doing, he was over in Edgefield County. And that part...
No, I was going to tell you, that's another branch of Hoggs.
Okay.
Actually, that branch is the ancestors of the Governor Hogg in Texas.
Okay, okay.
I don't think they've done a lot of research on that hog line.
Uh-huh.
See, there's 3 hog clans, or whatever you want to call them,
That sounds good.
in South Carolina. One's up in York County,
Uh-huh, that's right. That's
and
right.
another one's in Spartanburg, Greenville area,
Uh-huh.
which includes the Newberry area, and then the Beaufort area.
That's right, because the John Hogg from Newberry is not our John Hogg.
Right.
Because I found that in the DAR book yesterday at the library on Monday.
Right.
It said that the DAR finally straightened it out
Right.
and that they pulled it and corrected it because the John in Newberry is not the John in Barnwell.
Right.
That's like the Leonard Sanders Nobles from the Revolutionary War was a private, and he got all the accolades for being the lieutenant, which was the Lewis Sanders that died in 1827, and Lewis Sanders died in 1855. And see, that's Mary's family, Mary Noble. See, I have never seen, except for everybody else, Mary Elizabeth Polly Noble. I've only seen her...
Hey, Larry.
Hey, Henry.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Hey, I got a call from the fleet guy that I had sent over there,
Yeah.
and he said you're never going to match those bricks. So what he would have to do is take them all out and, clean them all off before he could use them back over again.
Yeah.
And he said be between $500 and $600. Now, that was a voicemail. I've called you back since then. I think you want me to call him and tell him to go ahead. It's up to you.
Yeah.
But,
Tell him to
and if
do it.
then, okay. That's what I figured you would. I don't think he's going to clean all them bricks and put them back up. I'm going to call it down to commence to it then, okay?
I sure appreciate that, Larry. Tell him if he needs if he needs any money, just to give me a call, and or you give it to him and send me a bill.
Yeah, I will. I'll pay him for it, and then I'll send it. I'll just forward it to you or whatever whatever works out for you. That's trying to help you out. But
I appreciate that, Larry.
Yeah, we'll get it going. 10-4. Okay, buddy.
Okay, man. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank
All
you.
right. Bye-bye.
Good night.
The road where we got to turn is back there. I was going to tell. We got to go back this way. I missed the road. I was talking on the phone.
So we don't know David VR. When I was in the library, I looked up and I found Anne Mary VR, Villare, in Perrysburg on a document, and somebody's will.
You kidding me?
And it was like 1740 something.
1740.
40s, I think. But it's on the picture. Butch has a picture of it because I made him
Okay.
take a picture of everything. And I said, Butch, I wish I had this book. I could take it with me. And David Villard, V-I-L-L-I-A-R-D or
A-R-D.
was in there, but I think it said St. Peter's, and I didn't think it was him.
That's why I'm thinking I've seen that before.
I need to look in that book then when we get to Buford, if I can find it in the library. That's what I need to do. I need to go back. But see, I didn't know if you had David's will and why he and John were at spat. Uh-oh, here comes a tractor on our turf. And then I didn't know if you knew who David's wife was. You don't know who his wife was?
I got that. I can't remember where I got it. I think I got it from Ancestry.com.
And I look
that
Mary Helen Long.
Yeah.
That I'm not sure. But are you definitely sure about it? Okay. And then you think that
in my book, I start out with about George Hogg. I start out and I make a statement
about junior, senior, and the third.
Well, no, that goes on to explain that. But I said I have no information whatsoever on George Hogg Sr. The only thing that I can guarantee is that he's not a product of Immaculate Conception.
Oh, I like that. But he was here in 1737 because he has to be the ones in the vestry book.
Well, I got a copy of the deed where you bought this place.
You do? Okay.
I got a piece.
A piece.
A piece.
That's the bad part. See, we're trying to piece it together.
It's in Charleston.
It's in Charleston.
And it got water damage in the courthouse.
Look at these trees. Would you look at these trees? Wow. Look at that. Oh, that is... Oh,
that's the caretaker's place there. You ain't seen nothing yet, honey.
Wow. How did you find this from the road? I don't remember a marker being back there.
No, there wasn't. 1825 Mills Atlas. And I just kept narrowing it down.
Did
you know? Now, another thing, too, you're going to be surprised at. Down that road that we was just on, the paved road, I've never been able to find it, but there was a Hoggs Tavern down there.
Well, that has to be from these people then.
Who knows? They're all a bunch of drunks anyway.
Well, I went to Town Hall twice in Klein, and it was locked up both times with no hours.
There's nothing there.
So I went to the little Mexican store that's now fully owned by the Mexicans.
Yeah.
And he said, the younger guy said he grew up in Klein, or that area.
Yeah.
And I said, well, when is the town hall open? And he said, never.
Never.
He said, you ought to see our mayor. Well, I found out that the mayor is William Cave, because he was shaking his head about the mayor of Klein. And then he said, but if you want to know anything about what could have been a monument in the Esso station, he said, that guy over there that lives in that house works in the courthouse in Barnwell. And he sits on the city council for Barnwell for Klein.
Wow.
And his name is Jesus Ortiz.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
And I'm going because, Joe's still on this kick about a monument out in front of the Esso station, but I'm not sure which one was the Esso station that was owned by the Sanders brothers. I thought it was the big...
That's down. I probably got a picture of that.
Is that? But that's not the store.
That's in Barnwell. I don't think there was ever an Esso station in Klein. It might have been, but I don't think so.
Well,
I'll send you the picture. I got
these trees. Look at these trees.
They have tore the gate. They used to be too big. I got pictures of it.
Oh no, I need pictures of that. I can tell.
I did not know they took that down. Damn it. I got pictures of it. Man, I wish I'd brought my computer.
I do too. I'm going to have to when we get back to the end of the road, take pictures from back there because the sun's coming in and really glary.
Yeah, Mr. Ficklin said he just planted all this ryegrass.
Yes, and it's gorgeous and green and pretty.
Yeah. He told me, he said, be sure to stay on that road. Because I asked him, I said, well, we want to stop at Whitehall because that family that owns Good Hope bought all of this. Now, this used to be owned by a hog, a General John H. Howard. He was the one that changed the family name from Hogg to Howard. And he got shot by somebody he was in his buggy.
Oh, that's what you sent me.
Oh, it is? Oh,
one
okay.
of the, you sent me like bizarre murders, or not bizarre murders, but bizarre happenings in the Hoggs.
Yeah,
Something
that's
like
one
that.
of the things.
But I just remember the buggy, but I don't remember who or
That's
anything.
that's the one from down here.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and what I did is I went. Oh, okay.
But I'd have
You
to
know
pull
what
it back
tabby
up.
is? You know what tabby is?
Yeah. Oh yes, that's oyster shell.
Okay, this is where we're going. It should be. It should be right up in here.
Look at these. I bet Butch is back there just going, oh, look at these trees. Because he said he'd like to live, instead of living in the pines, he'd like to live
You
in the
know,
live
this
oaks.
is
Look at this.
this is not the place.
This isn't it.
No, this is not it. We'll go down there and turn around until.
Oh, but I need to get out and take pictures of some of
Okay,
these
well
trees.
I'm just gonna go right in here and turn.
Yeah. And when you get to the end of the road, I'll shoot back.
Yeah, I
with my
want to.
camera.
I'm gonna get out of.
Now, which body of water are we on?
This is the Yuha Creek.
Okay. Oh, this is a creek. We've got a river at home that's as wide as this vehicle.
That's just a. Oh.
So, I mean, you know, when I see a creek like this, you want me to go ahead and get out?
Yeah, if you want to, and then I'm gonna back up. Can you make it okay?
I can. When I have to, I'm sorry, I have to use my feet to push heavy
You
doors.
do what you got to do.
I don't have a
Just
whole
don't
lot.
get hurt.
I don't have a whole lot of meat on my bones.
Just don't get hurt. Don't let that door slam you.
You got mud bugs over here. We had those in Louisiana.
This is absolutely beautiful in here.
In the dope. Now this is not. Like I said, it's been 20 years, and there should be. I think we missed it. It's on the National Historic Registry. It's Tabby Ruins of Whitehall Plantation. I think it might be further on down the road. I didn't know that this was here.
This is absolutely beautiful.
Oh, okay.
I'd love to have a house sitting right about
I could handle that.
They probably, all I'd want to buy is that strip back to the road.
Yeah.
Where the green grass is.
He told me, he says, now be sure and stay off my grass. I just planted that a few weeks ago.
What, is this a hunting preserve back in here or something?
No, this is part of good old plantation. And they do hunt. But they're mostly, I think, fowl duck hunters. They do have deer hunts here on the property. It's I thought it's now only about 16,000 acres. I think it used to be like 50,000. And but now one thing we got to keep. I come across some information that they're going to develop a big chunk of this property, houses. But the way they're going to do it, I don't have too much heartburn with it. It's going to be one house per 4 or 5 acres.
This is the 5 acres I want right
Yeah. Hey, I bet you could buy this place.
here. I bet you could too, but you couldn't afford it.
I couldn't afford the taxes.
Just the trees.
Yeah.
When you start, I mean, when Becky's aunt, her daddy's only sister, was alive, she lived in Tampa.
Wow.
And she lived in the old part of Tampa.
Yep.
And her house and all the houses around her had these big live oaks. And back in the day when they built their house was like 40, 50 years old. And it was like a quarter-acre lot, half-acre lot.
Wow.
People were going in just for the trees and buying the houses, tearing down the houses, and building a new house in the middle of these live oaks.
Middle of these trees, man.
I was thinking to myself.
I mean, you're looking at some of these trees. You're probably looking close to 1,000 years old.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, I'm no treeologist, but
No, but I agree with you. I'm not either, but I would agree with you.
The bigger the tree, the older the tree. That's all I know.
There you go. Well, I told somebody one time. I said, "Now, I know everything there is to know about these trees." He said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "You got light green trees and you got dark green trees."
That's right.
These live oaks are just
Now, as we go down this road, they couldn't have tore down the Tabby ruins. They would be in jail.
I would think so.
That's because I've got a copy of it being
Yeah.
put on the National Historic
The
Register.
outside walls, isn't it? Or
Yeah.
some of the outside walls.
Right.
Yeah,
And
they
there's
can't tear that down.
and there's a kitchen off to the side, and it's 2-story.
right.
Let me. Hey Becky, I'm gonna pull up here and make it easier to open that door.
Okay, thank you. Much easier.
Oh yeah.
When you were on that incline, I wondered if I was going to be able to get
Yeah.
up there. It's absolutely gorgeous. Just gorgeous.
Well, you ain't seen nothing yet.
I know, I know, and I'm about to have a fit now. I'm going to see if I can't get up closer and get the drive when we get to the...
Yeah, we go around this curve.
Yeah.
You don't need it. Right there.
Okay.
When it starts digging,
Uh-oh, that was your...
now you need it.
Okay, I was going to say, ours starts dinging after a while. They don't understand I want to take pictures and I don't need it.
That's what I used to like about my old F350. Once you got moving, you could undo the seatbelt, driver and passenger.
I wondered, this might be a good spot.
Going,
Let's see if I can just get up a little bit closer without getting out. I might have to get out because of the glare on the window.
yeah.
We'll not get the car to.
You see this,
I will.
don't you? See this? Hey. Movie film right here.
Oh my gosh.
Movie
Well,
film.
I can just take that with me. Now I don't have to worry about it. I heard Butch tell you that he could live here.
Oh, yeah.
Like to have the trees.
He said, I said, they're going to develop a lot of this property from this plantation. But I was reading the thing, I don't have a lot of heartburn with it because they're going to restrict one house per 4 or 5 acres. Which
I was
want
gonna say,
that down?
It's down. I was going to put it up a little bit.
Okay.
But I think it was locked. So they're going to restrict it to how many acres apiece?
I think it's either 4 or 5 acres
Uh-huh.
per house. So that's not too bad, but I just don't know where they're going to develop. But
Yeah,
I want to try to find out,
absolutely.
because if they get around close to these graveyards, that's when I'm going to come down and raise hell.
I would too. Call me, I'll raise it with
Oh
you.
yeah, oh yeah. You better believe it. I'm not going to let them desecrate. And there's also, now of course there's no markers that I know of, but there's an old slave graveyard not far from, right. I'll show you. It's real close.
Is that the Orange something? Orange Grove?
Orange Grove Plantation, but I'm not positive that was Orange Grove. That was the name. I think that's something that
That tree.
John Webb Howard made up.
Very well could have.
But you got to stop and think. This old man, he died in 1943. He was born in 1860 something.
See, so a lot of what he writes might be true. You think?
I'm gonna make a DVD of what his. See, I found Howard down in Savannah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, but he wouldn't do a DNA test.
Why? You know, I had to make my daddy open his mouth to do one. He just didn't want. And I said, Daddy, it's just Q-tip.
That's all it is.
He just didn't. He was like.
You did one?
I did one. I did one not long ago, but my daddy in '08 did the real one. And now they.
I did a 67 marker.
Did you?
Send you my results.
They. Yeah, that would be good.
I didn't do no mitochondrial. All I did was the Y.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. See, my daddy did the Y, and then when they came out with this newfangled one, I called and said, "Do you still have my daddy's DNA?" And they said, "No, you'll have to get more DNA." I said, "That's kind of hard. He's not living."
Yeah.
You know, and I said, "What is this?" And I said, "Now they don't do the one where you get the DNA like you and Butch and Daddy.
Right.
You know, they do the cousins and all that jazz. And I don't know what they do, telling you where you're from and all this. But Daddy's and Butch's was most interesting to read about.
You know, I think that was the place, and they've tore all that down. Man,
You think when they planted the rye, they tore it down?
Oh no, it's been gone long before that.
But I didn't think you could tear down.
I didn't either. Oh, if they did, whoa.
You can't tear down all that, Tabby.
No.
I've seen pictures where
Right.
it's just the ruins of the old plantation. That was something in the way, and I never saw it.
No, that was just a little lip.
Okay. And how long has it been since you've been in this part of the woods?
I know. Well, down here, I know it's been 20 years. Last time I come down here was back in the mid to late 90s.
There was a little dirt road right back there. Okay.
You'll notice there's two huge brick columns with a wooden gate on each column.
Well, did Mr. Fickling say it was different? Did he say they tore it down?
No, he didn't say nothing about it because I said, we won't stop at Whitehall. He said, just stay off my grass. And I said, yes, sir. I said, we won't travel.
So maybe that was it back there.
That's what I'm saying.
Because he said, but we would have ridden down and seen. Here
Here it is. Is that not beautiful?
I need a picture of it. I can get it coming or going. What you want me to do?
Your choice.
I might get it coming and going.
I'm just driving.
You're driving, Miss Daisy?
I'm driving Miss Daisy.
they couldn't tear this down. They'd
No.
you'd have to go back and use that weapon to shoot them.
I would have too.
I know that's the truth. And I would have said I didn't see a thing. I didn't see a thing.
This is just absolutely gorgeous.
It's absolutely, I don't know that my pictures are going to do it justice. You know what I mean? You just...
Now, Butch wants that 5 acres down there. I want this 5 acres.
I want this one too. I hope my pictures turn out. There's such a glare.
Yeah.
I'm glad the sun's out. That's what I told Butch at the cemeteries yesterday. I said, I'm glad the sun's out, but it's making terrible glares on the headstones. And,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
but...
And that's one thing you can't move.
No, you cannot. And I was so glad for the sun after Monday was so cold and windy and damp and miserable. It was miserable.
So I'm going to get nosy. Why are y'all going to Hilton Head? Are you going to research or just to
No,
vacation?
but we found out about the Heritage Library there. No, it's our anniversary.
Oh.
And we're going down to stay at one of our favorite little places, the Monarch. It's in Sea Pines, right at the end of the road.
Oh,
We have some friends who celebrate the same anniversary, and they have a timeshare down there, and they got us a really good rate for a week.
Oh,
I mean,
great.
a really good rate for a week. Or we wouldn't be going for a week to
Yep.
Hilton Head.
Right.
And that's what we celebrate our anniversary together. We try to celebrate it even if we just go out to dinner at home.
Right.
We try to do something every year. We got married the same year, the same day. They got married at 2 o'clock. We got married at 4:30. And we didn't even know him until we moved to Blairsville.
I'll be darned.
Because he's Canadian, and she's from Tampa, and they met in Atlanta, I think.
Wow.
And he's still Canadian.
Now,
And so that's why we're going to Hilton Head.
now, I noticed in your information, your daddy was in Blairsville.
Yes. Yes.
So that's how y'all ended up going.
Actually, no. We were going to retire somewhere, but not our hometown because it's too hot and it's too many mosquitoes.
Down in Burke.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And so we,
Look at that stuff, would you?
look what my eyes are beholding.
That's the kitchen.
And no, actually, we had looked, one time we had a 2-week vacation, the longest we've ever had.
Wow.
And we looked at property in North Georgia from Rome across to Dahlonega and north, and we couldn't find anything we liked. And so what we did was, right before we left, we looked in the newspaper. Mother and Daddy had moved up there like 85. And in 87, we found some property. We called the owner, and he took us over, and we fell in love with it. It was 10 acres, but on the river. But he had already sold 4, so we bought the other 6. It just so happened to be Mother and Daddy lived there. And Butch's mother said, you bought it because the Menzies were there. And Butch said, no, it had nothing to do with it. We looked all the way across the northern part of the state, and that's where it happened to be. But my daddy died 2 years ago, October.
Yeah, I'd seen that in the thing.
Yeah. But they had moved to Blairsville. He had retired from DuPont, the Savannah River plant.
Oh, really?
Over here.
Wow. Yeah.
And they had always wanted to retire in Savannah, on the coast.
Yeah.
They wanted to be on the river. And they said the property had just gotten unavailable. It was just so expensive.
Oh, yeah.
And they had visited friends in the mountains and fell in love with it and bought a piece of property in Mount Iowa.
Stop just a minute and let this thing, here we go. You want me to stop so you can,
That would be good, yeah.
okay.
'Cause I don't know if that little sun's going to let me do this or not.
We can go past the sunspot and stop again.
I hope they turn out. See, I've got my sunglasses on too, which doesn't help.
Yeah.
Because my other glasses might be. This is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, Hoggs Neck, and this is Whitehall Plantation, and then the cemetery what I've read about George is they think George, and probably more than George, buried at Hoggs Neck Cemetery.
I've got a list. I went through all of the information that John Webb Howard put together, and I picked out everybody.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and I think there's about 19 people.
Wow.
I think. Of course, you can't prove none of it because there's no stones there.
Exactly.
Except for William. William's the only stone.
That's the only one.
Only one.
Yeah. Wow. Well, see, you just never know when we all get together what we're going to dig up.
That's right.
Because who would have thought we'd have dug up Angus?
Yeah.
If Butch had found the rest of Angus's stone, he was, the Sunday we leave Hilton Head, he was going to go back over there. He was going to buy a shovel at Walmart, and he was going to head back.
Well,
I'm just really pretty sure, this might be a good one at the gate from this angle. Well, maybe it won't be. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Get closer.
I'll just zoom in a little bit. Yeah. I'll zoom back a little bit and get some trees with it. Great. I hope it looks good. I don't think I wanted that up, but it's so dark in here. But we discovered at the cemetery when I took my flash off, because it kept flashing when it should not have.
Right.
And my pictures turned out better than Butch's because I had the flash down. But
Oh, okay.
But it saves the battery more when the flash is up. I don't understand it myself. But anyway, so I used so many batteries on a trip I went on one time. I mean, I was going through batteries every 2 or 3 days, and they told me.
Tried to take pictures with my camera, battery's dead, and I can't find my other battery. And it takes
What batteries do you need?
It's a special battery goes in there. It's looks like 2 double A's made together, but they're curved.
Oh.
It's
Like George and Sarah's headstone.
Huh?
Like George and Sarah Hoggs headstone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have those. I have some loose batteries. Butch's little camera, his battery died, and we went to Walmart and they don't have it, so he's gonna have to go to a camera shop. And I've got spares in here, but I think I've dropped my camera bag so much I probably lost all my spares.
Oh boy.
I hope not, but I as long as I have 4 in here, but I was supposed to have 8, but I doubt it. And yesterday I was getting more water to wash the stones off, and every battery I owned was in the floorboard, and I'm going like, wow, this is not good. This is just so cool. Yes, I could live here.
I could.
In a skinny minute.
Yes, down here today.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have no problem living in Klein in George and Hogg's old house.
I told Butch, I said, I could move back to Klein if I can live in that house.
Yeah, yes.
I said, because it's in the country, it's not on top of anybody, and I said, in fact, one night we were so tired, it must have been Monday night, and we were going back towards the little cottage we were staying in, and I said, well, I think just stop over there and let's talk to Mr. Chappell and see if he's got dinner ready. There was a light on upstairs and a light on downstairs. I figured they were home.
Right.
So, I guess his name's Chappell, isn't it?
Yeah,
or something like
Tommy
that.
Chappell. I'd only want to live there, though, if he left that $3 million helicopter.
That's right. That's right. Well, how long has he lived in that house? I don't remember what he said.
Long time.
Long time.
Long time. I'm not positive. I've got pictures of the house. Esther and I went there in the 80s, and it was horrible. I got pictures of it before he fixed it.
I've only got what what we took in October, and then what's in Nano book. And that, the pictures in the Nano book. There's 2.
They're horrible.
Yeah. And he wrote me back, and he said, I am so glad. And he introduced me to Liz and you, and we started talking, and I said, well, I've been trying to write a Henry Hogg. And I said, I've written him 3 times, and I said, every one of them's come back. And he said, oh, I've got the new email. That's how I got you. So I said, oh, I'm so happy about all this.
See,
all because of Solomon McKenzie.
Good things come out, even though I don't communicate with Joe anymore.
Yeah, I don't as much as I did when we first met.
I meant to tell you, I talked to his brother this morning on the way
Malcolm?
down.
Did you?
And "Oh, Henry, I let you down again. I'm not." I said, "You ain't let me down. You're gonna be the loser.
That's right.
You gonna miss out on all this fun with your cousin."
That's exactly right. I need to meet that boy, I guess. I've met his brother.
He's totally different than Joe. He's a sweetheart.
Is he really?
He really is. And I'm gonna tell you this.
You just have to tell her not to repeat it.
Oh yeah, I don't worry about it. Esther is not a gossip.
Me either.
And,
I can't.
and the beauty thing about her, she doesn't have a jealous bone in her body.
Oh wow.
Not a jealous bone.
That's good. Good for her. Good.
Yep.
Yeah, every time lately when I've had questions, I'll go look at your tree first. And then if I don't understand something or you don't have it answered, I'll say, "All right, Henry, now I'm going to let you find this while I find that." You know?
Right. But
you don't have VRs David, you don't have a lot of stuff down about
I don't
him.
have nothing on David. Mm-hmm. I got it. The fact, and the only reason I know that David VR was the father of John Hogg's first wife is because he mentioned him in the will.
Yeah.
Other than that, I would have never known.
Yeah.
I'd have never known it. There's more information on the Burkes than there is on the VRs.
Yeah.
And now I think David VR had a son named David VR.
Well, see, that's what I think too.
Yeah.
And I think he's the middleman.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think he might be the middle in the...
Now there's a William VR, which I think might have been his brother.
I think because I'm in Gainesville, I may have to see if I can't find the tree because it was on. I didn't save it. It's on Ancestry. When I typed in David, you know how you type in and try to find, and most of that stuff is just speculation on most people's parts.
Right.
Because they had Butch was looking on part of his tree, and he said, "Becky, they've got. Did you know that this is really a phenomenon?" He said they've got this man in 1851 being in the Civil War, in 1851. He said the Civil War wasn't until 1865, 4 or something like that.
Yeah,
and I go
ended in 65,
then we've seen mothers born before the children. I mean, born after the children. I'm
now,
going like, people are not paying squat attention to what they're doing.
You're going to find one or two in my tree.
Well, you probably found some in mine. I tried to be real careful with it, but I'm sure there's some mistakes in there. I've already changed some of my tree. I've gone back and changed. Oh, I know what I was talking about. I've only seen Mary Elizabeth Polly Noble. I saw Mary Polly in the Nano book, and I've seen it on, was it Liz's tree or Joe's? And I'm not sure what you have her listed as. In all of my documents, I've only seen her listed as Mary Jones. Mary Jones Hogg. I've never seen her as Mary Elizabeth or Mary Noble or anything.
Wow.
You know, I've only seen her as Mary Jones.
Mary Jones.
And so I put Mary Jones.
Yeah,
I just erased everything else because I thought, until I know for sure, but I am 99.9% sure she is from Burke County. And because that's where her daddy was in prison for stealing a sorrel mare.
It's like I told you, it's a preponderance of the evidence.
Yeah, exactly.
And the evidence is what it is to you.
That's exactly right. That's right.
You.
But now your head was spinning when I sent you. You should have been in my head. I was trying to get that timeline and then had to send an addendum because I left something out.
Yep.
And I'm going like, Butch, I'm going crazy over here. And Henry said I made his head spin. I wrote Henry said you should be on this end. So it's just crazy. But I'm going to have to get your 2 cents on what you think about Mary Jones and Leonard and Nancy.
You know that her maiden name being Jones makes a lot of sense, but she married, or Mary Amanda married Joseph
Beeline Nobles,
which was Polly's second cousin. Mary Amanda's second cousin.
If one place it sounds like it's Mary Amanda's first cousin, and then in another spot it said no, it was Mary's first cousin. So I think when I find Mary's brothers, I found 2 of them.
Oh, you did?
Leonard.
Wow.
Leonard Benjamin Nobles.
Wow.
who died in Arkansas.
We are here.
Oh, Butch is looking again. He's got it going.
Now, Butch, the name of this.
You're probably going to want your jacket.
Did the camera totally die? Or I'll go back to quick. I'll just leave and I go, I can't do this because I'm getting a headache. You know, I'm getting dizzy from trying to get these Mackenzies and Hoggs and Nobles.
Let things get cold.
And so, but what's so comical, I just can't believe it. Mary's the eldest brother. Mary is the baby. Mary Jones. Mary Polly is the baby in the family.
Oh, really?
And the eldest child is Dennis Nobles. He's the oldest. And that's who she and John's the one, I sent it to you, the court case, or the the minutes from the court case.
Right.
Yeah. And John and Mary were actually, I don't understand why. It was first brought up after Dennis's wife Lucretia died. Dennis died in 1801. Lucretia died in 1820. And after she died, apparently there was nobody left. And so Mary, and I think it was because of John, because it said John Hogg and wife Mary, like it was him.
Right.
Maybe in the 1800s that's how they did it, but it was her property because she was the child, you know. But anyway, it said in 1822,
everything.
yeah, in 1822 they took it to court the first time in Burke County, to the Burke County court. And then in 1832, it was in the Superior Court. And in 1822, from a newspaper article, it has the names listed. And I can't find these people to save my soul.
Well, I got that article.
Did I send it to you, the Arthur Bell?
No, I downloaded it from the Chronicle.
I have it. The Arthur Bell, the first three names, Arthur Bell was the executor for Lucretia Noble's estate. And Green Bell and whoever the other Bell are, I think, are his children. Who the Skinner is, I don't know, but Burke County has lots of Skinners. And who Lovesey is, I don't know. But it had a Robert Nobles listed out of state or out of the area.
Right.
Robert Nobles was granted land in 1804 in Burke County. And then it had Claiborne Nobles. I go, Butch, who in the hell is a Claiborne Nobles? That sounds like royalty. Butch says it sounds like a Seaborn Jones name. Seaborn Jones, and he said, I always told you Nancy Jones was from the Seaborn Jones family. And he said, doesn't Claiborne? You cannot find a Claiborne Jones in Georgia or South Carolina.
Oh, no.
And then it's got John and Nancy Clary and Charles Simons, S-I-M-O-N-S, and Nancy. And I don't know who these people are, but I'm thinking that they're Mary's siblings. I think Robert and Claiborne and maybe Nancy Clary was Nancy Jones, named after her mother. And when she married a John Clary, I don't know. But I don't know, but there it is. There it is.
Beautiful.
Ooh.
Man.
As you notice, I probably took over 100 pictures today. I bet I took 200.
Yeah.
I was clicking.
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
And I still have another cemetery to go.
And you can sort them all out later.
Yes, absolutely, because I may have to hit delete or hit, make it look, you know, the
Right.
color look more vibrant or
You
give
don't
it
have
some more light.
a card in there?
I do.
Oh.
But I've got batteries as well. So when the batteries die,
No,
I
I'm
have
talking about the card that the pictures are saved to.
yes, I do.
Yeah, you can take that out
Uh-huh.
and put a new card in.
Yeah, but I don't have a new card with me. I've got a little pouch for this card. Yeah, it's right back here next to my batteries.
Yeah.
But Butch downloads them every night, so my card's okay. Should be
Yeah.
okay. But I'm gonna find who Claiborne Nobles is. I don't know how.
Yeah.
That's another day and another dollar. But
Yeah.
anyway, so I am 99.99% sure that Mary Jones Nobles Hogg was born in Burke County, Georgia.
Yeah, that's what that whole bit says.
I
She
am
was from Burke County.
convinced that she is the Mary Hogg that's buried at Magnolia Cemetery in Augusta. She was also in Augusta with Solomon and Eliza in I'd have to get my records out because I've got some tax records. Either in 1861 and 63 or 60 and 63.
You know that Solomon was a school teacher too.
I don't
In
know.
Augusta.
In Augusta?
Yeah.
He was a tax collector, or rent collector or something.
Yeah.
And the postmaster you knew here.
And he, it's in one of the census records. He was teaching school.
Oh, Lordy. Well, do you know when he died, he was a glazier, which is something to do with windows.
Yeah.
But you know, James Solomon, his youngest son,
Yeah.
who was the last one to die in 1927, who I thought was buried, it says on his death certificate he was buried at Hogg Best, but we couldn't find him.
No.
We did find a couple of indentions out
Yeah.
there, and there's also like a little marker, but it looks like a footstone, but it's nothing on it. Butch pulled it right out of the ground. It's
Wow.
no initials or anything on it, and I said, well, it's over there with Sally and William and that family,
Wow.
and Ima and her children. And I said, maybe that's how they marked him because they couldn't afford anything else.
Right.
Because when he died, the only person living was Ima. She died in 1929, and James Solomon died in 1927.
Yep.
So, maybe she just didn't have any money to
Could be.
put a headstone for her uncle. I don't know.
Could very well be.
But anyway, James Solomon had a, oh shoot, what is it called when you invent something?
Patent.
Thank you. He had a patent. James Solomon McKenzie had a patent on some kind of pipe, some
Really?
kind of farm equipment piece of machinery.
I'll be darned.
And so, but he was also a painter. He was a contractor, a painter. All of these
Yeah.
people were everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they just went job to job. They found something they liked, they stuck with it.
Right.
If they didn't, well, now see, you get that honestly. How many? You had 12 jobs in a year, you said.
11 and 12 months.
Yeah. See, so you're the.
But I've done truck driving.
Yeah.
Um,
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades,
Jack of
master
all
of nothing.
trades. No, I don't believe that. No, I don't believe
Nope.
that. Oh me. So, but you are. It is you that started this can of worms about
Good.
Mary Nobles, Mary
And-
Jones Nobles.
And the whole thing is, when I started this mess, and then I finally found out that John Hogg was married twice, I said, well, I'm going to stick with my side with the first marriage. I said, I'm not going to do nothing with the second marriage.
Yeah.
I got more information on the second marriage than I do on my side.
Do you know why I know so much about all the cousins? I mean, the children trying to get to the grandparents.
Right.
Because I couldn't find Solomon any other way. I know more about his children than I know about my own sister.
Yep.
I mean, I'm going like, I know, and I'm going like, Butch says, Becky, I said, Butch, I feel like we're sitting around the kitchen table having dinner. I know that much about them.
I got very little information on the people living now.
Yeah. Oh, no, I don't have it either. I stopped with me.
Because everybody in this family knows that for the past 40 plus years, I've been working on this family tree.
Yes.
And when you have a baby and you don't have the decency to call me and give me the particulars,
That's right.
where the hell would you?
That's how exactly we are. We might be half cousins, but we're full cousins in my heart and mind.
Yeah, well,
I've
that's the way I
got a
look
lot
at
of
it.
the same thought process as you do,
Yep.
because my family tree starts with me and Butch. Because Butch now does
Yep.
have his sisters. I did add my sister, but I haven't added her kids and grandkids because they're the same way. And I'm
Yep.
going like, and I told Butch, I said, where's all this going to go when we kick the bucket? Not one soul in my family cares about it.
Yep, that's
know.
the way my family is, and I don't know what in the world. I've been contemplating what to do
Uh-huh.
with all this data, and I think what I'm gonna end up doing is most of it's electronic, and
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna give it to like the South Carolina Historical
Oh,
Society.
yeah.
I'm gonna give you, and Liz,
Yeah.
everything I got,
Oh, that's wonderful.
everything. I mean, I'm hoping that I can get through with these books.
Well, I was going to ask you, what page are you on?
Oh,
Are
I'm
you
on the-
almost finished?
I'm on the 4th generation, and there's
Several.
it goes to
Several.
generation 11, but
Mhm.
I'm not sure I'm gonna put 10 and 11 in there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where I had to turn. Nope. Oh, right here. Yeah, right here. Boy, I told you it's been a long time.
Yeah, but
since-
I think you're doing great because I doubt I would remember, especially if it changed a lot. Thomas Hayward Jr. Uh-huh. This is where we're going.
Yep.
I got to get my got to get my stuff ready. There's something to this Webb person though, because of
Yeah, they married into the Hoggs.
because of that. Did I tell you his name was Thomas Webb in Solomon's will? Oh, well, not will. His
Oh,
appraisal.
really?
Thomas Webb. There's a Thomas Webb that owed him money, or maybe,
Oh, wow.
or maybe Solomon owed him money. Look at this. This is really pretty back here. What is that little thing running across? That's a little chihuahua.
Oh, wow, it sure is.
He better just get this little butt out of the way.
Now they got a gate up there.
Yeah. This is exactly where I thought that. And what is this one called?
This is Old House Cemetery.
Old House Cemetery.
Old House Cemetery.
And the first one was Hoggs Neck Cemetery.
That's what I call it.
That's what I call it. I don't know if that's right, but if we both call it that, it has to be.
Yeah.
And then this is old.
I call it George Hogg's Old Plantation Cemetery.
Well, yeah, that works too.